about a decent place to live. This is about a decent life for your kids. This is about folks that are engaged in their lives and trying to make things happen for themselves like everyone else.
There's a sense of safety, a sense of connectedness to other people, an opportunity to make a contribution towards the quality of life that everyone experiences collectively. That might take the form of a really solid block club, a park that has a lot of recreational opportunities that many of the kids take advantage of, bringing families together as a result. Schools can play that role. So that's an important part of it as well.
Community developers are unique organizations. They're very entrepreneurial. They've had to be this scrappy mix of creative problem solvers and folks who are working in partnership with a number of different folks. And policymakers need to recognize these are the types of organizations that we need to help with 21st century problems.
Without community development work and agencies in neighborhoods, I think the neighborhoods would just look terrible. They'd be run down. There'd be boarded up houses. Neighborhoods would be more apt to be gentrified. It would be crime, low values on housing.
As a nonprofit, we don't go after the real estate everyone else wants. We go after the real estate no one else wants. This work really isn't possible on the front end for for-profits. We try to get in there and jumpstart things so that hopefully 5 years from now, it'll be a viable market for for-profits.
Focus of our work is very much on trying to rebuild inner city neighborhoods through the energy and ideas of their own entrepreneurs, the folks from their own community. So it's very, very much about building neighborhood economies from within.
Community development is really about building community. And that includes the infrastructure in the community. That could be the schools, could be libraries, could be community services. You really have to bring it all together to really get that sense of community building. And I think developers now are sensing that.
Through our work, we've identified 4 building blocks of success: collaboration, working in partnership with each other; holism, thinking about comprehensive strategies; community engagement, it's about folks being actors in their own change; and the 4th being regional integration, understanding the health of this region is connected to the health of individual neighborhoods and communities that make up the region.
The original motivation for creating Johnson Elementary was that Wilder Foundation, the school district, and the city and the county had come together to create a model for urban education reform. What happened when they chose this building, we took what had been really a symbol of sort of the downhill trend of this community, and we revitalized this building and created instead a beacon of hope for the community.
Partnerships are very essential in trying to make this type of community development happen. I like to work to find similar values, people who believe in the same sort of philosophy of community development that I do.
Can I get another one of these when you get a chance? This one is broke.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to work at Abbott or Children's, and they said that about the only way you get into the hospital in Minneapolis is to go through a program, and that was called the Train to Work program to help you get started. What are you looking for, Lena? There's a lot of opportunity in South Minneapolis when it used to didn't be like that. So just having the different jobs and the different buildings around here have made, I think, this neighborhood better.
The area around the Franklin Avenue Safety Center not that many years ago was a real crime concern for the neighborhood. And that's really when Teresa Carr and her organization reached out to the Minneapolis Police Precinct, and from those relationships grew the actual bricks and mortar of the Franklin Avenue Safety Center. And the Franklin Avenue Safety Center just generated not just more cops in the area, which is important, but also really users of the area, business people, neighborhood people, that were using the area for positive things. And that's tremendously turned around this neighborhood.
If you bring a whole community together, you really can succeed at this work.
So community development needs to be more than just bricks and mortars. Once you put that piece together, it really needs to service and benefit folk in the neighborhood besides just making the neighborhood look pretty.
A stable, affordable place to live is a building block, but it's not the only kind of block in the foundation, so to speak, of a really successful life.
The bottom line is poor communities need grocery stores and medical clinics and banks and pharmacies and more than suburban communities do, because the majority of the people that live in this community, the Phillips neighborhood, don't drive. So what is within a 6-block radius of a person's home who doesn't drive kind of becomes his or her world.
Long-term goal is really having those folks keep their businesses in their own neighborhoods, anchor those neighborhoods in both economic and social ways. So, you know, they not only are out there paying taxes and occupying storefronts and so on, but they're also role modeling to the neighbor kids. They're employing folks from the community. They're becoming leaders.
I think the bricks and mortar strategy is important. Building new housing, building new commercial retail space is critically important. But if that's all that you do, then you really have only hit one piece of the problem. The idea behind our strategy in community development is to lift people up, not push people out. We want to make sure that the people that are currently in our neighborhoods are the ones that are benefiting from the programs that we're creating in our neighborhoods. And I think that that's why the shift from a bricks and mortar strategy has been so important.
I really believe that them coming in here, investing time and money and everything into this neighborhood has been one of the best things that, you know, I've ever seen. Because like I say, this corner was like really bad. Every other building abandoned. I mean, so yeah, it has definitely brought this neighborhood back to life.
June of 1997, Muriel Simmons moved into 2702 Portland Avenue, and she began the work of chasing out drug dealers. She walked across the street, introduced herself to a neighboring drug dealer, and said, it's either you or me that will be here 10 years from now, and I'm betting on me.
When you began to form block clubs, when you began to come outside and meet your neighbors, when you began to have a voice, you know, you take control of your community. So it's important that you be involved, that, you know, you begin to open your doors up, let the shades up, you know, come outside and have a presence. Because if you don't have a presence, somebody else will.
When the restaurant was ready, I couldn't believe how pretty it was. And then I started having people coming, Star Tribune, all the papers. Why you came in here to open this beautiful restaurant? I said, well, because I think it's a good opportunity, and we can make the neighborhood well.
And we all know that change is more than just bricks and mortar. That's a very important part in terms of beautification of an area, but the actual change is what transpires within the people. And it's exactly that. It's engaging with the community. It's not telling them what they need or we're going to save you. You know, it's more about us coming together and figuring this thing out collectively.
We're going to get a plaque, I think, so your name can be on it.
So I think when you involve neighbors, when you involve people that are the ones that are going to be most affected by what's happening in the community, then you really get a sense of direction and a sense of purpose, and hopefully one that includes everyone that's in the neighborhood already, and it isn't just one group of people kind of trying to squeeze out another group of people.